Hello once again. Hey, it's Dan here in Virginia. I just got back from flying this afternoon. Had a great morning flying here in Virginia. We've got cool weather. There was no wind whatsoever at our flying field until about, I don't know, 8 or 10 o'clock. And it did pick up. It started blowing at about, I don't know, up to 12 miles an hour. But by then, I had transitioned over to this new airplane, the Commander, and this plane is heavier. I mentioned before it's 4 pounds, which is heavier than most of my planes. Are running at about 3 pounds. So this carries a lot more mass. It cuts through the wind a lot better. So I flew her 3 times, and she flew great. I wish I was a more accomplished pilot, but I'm getting there. Anyway, I got back home and I noticed on my website I got a comment from Joyce Stevens. Joyce says, "Hey Dan, can you show me or tell me how you mount your APC propeller on your Commander?" And I thought, well, that's timely because I'm about ready to do a post-flight inspection. And as you can see here, what I do, first of all, I'm going to remove the nose cone, the spinner. Now that spinner, it was pretty loose. So that tells me, I flew this 3 times this morning and I did not check this. As I mentioned in my previous video, I flew it 3 flights and I didn't check it at the field. So here we go inside. Here's the APC propeller, and you can see here's the big nose weight that comes with the airplane. Now to mount this propeller is tricky because this propeller is not as thick. The stock propeller on this airplane is a big thick hub, and most propellers, including the APC, do not have that thick of a hub. So I'm just going to, this is my Turnigy screwdriver. I love this thing. It works as a prop wrench. I'm going to just take this loose. Now, that wasn't too loose, but it wasn't too tight. So here's what I got. Here is the prop nut / giant weight for the front of the MPD. So we take it off. Underneath that, you will see a plastic insert. This is probably an insert from a propeller off the Sport Cup. I don't know, but I don't throw anything away. I save them. All these things, you break a prop, just don't throw it away. Take it home and cut the center out of it on your jigsaw or whatever. You may need that. So now I pull off the APC prop. There she is. Of course, I file them in the back, put the insert in the back. I file them very precisely so they just barely fit over this. Next on there is a flat washer. This is a flat washer. I don't know what size it is, but I make it, if I have to, I drill them or file them or whatever. You can see it fits precisely up on to the hub of the spinner backplate. Then the spinner backplate, I can wiggle it. It fits snugly. There it is. It comes off. Now here is the secret. This next thing is the secret because this is so you can't hold when you go to tighten this. There's no way to grip this motor because of this cowling. I'm going to take the cowling off. Fortunately, it's magnetic. It's very easy. There's no way to hold this motor while you turn this thing. So I came up with I'm sharing a secret with you. Here it is. This thing right here is the secret. This is a washer that you have to make. This thing here, you see that? That is a very thin washer. It's the same thing on both sides. In fact, here's what I made it out of. It came right out of here. This is 220 grit wet and dry sandpaper. You cut two of them, one here, one here. Cut them with your scissors and poke a hole in them with a punch them out, so they, and you take them and you glue them back to back with just one or two drops of CA glue on each one, and you put them down and press them together. So this is the secret to getting this tight. And here's the back of, there we go. This portion right here that tightens up on the collet, I use this as a template to build these washers. I drew them out. I put this down on this piece of paper here. You can use 220, I don't know what it is, 220, 150, but you draw two of them. So then this goes on like this. And I like to, quite frankly, put a little bit of a little dab of grease right in here. Not on the shaft, just so that this can squeeze down on this collet nice and snugly. So then you put on your secret 220 grit washer. What this washer does, it allows you to get enough bite, enough stiction between this back washer. Okay, now you got to remember which order you put it in. You got to put the cowling on. Like, there we go. Cowling snaps right on. So now you put the backing plate on for the spinner, and it's going to press up against that secret washer we got there. That washer, and it's this. I got it snug. You see that? I have to push it on there. All right, push it on. Put that on. Let me think. Okay, and then I have a small washer. That's probably a 1/16 of an inch thick. And you've got to be careful. This gap right here, you have to maintain. You have to have a 1/16 of an inch gap. Don't try to make it too close. I did that one time. I'm an old woodworker. I try to make everything so precise. And I did that, and I had to go around. It was coming to land. I had to jam the throttle, and I hit the throttle, and the thing just squealed like a wildcat. I don't know what was going to happen. But what happened, this thing flexed and rubbed right onto the cowling. Okay, so you put this small washer on there. Then you mount your APC prop. And push it clear on. Now you want to be able to hit these little knobs here. Hits that. Okay, then here's this spacer I had from another airplane. I know it's from a Sport Cub. It's about the right thickness, so you just have to play around with some washers or whatever, spacers, whatever you have, and you get it right. Put that on there. Then I put on the big weight / prop nut. Now I have put Loctite on this before, but that's not such a great idea. That's another story. Because you're gonna take a torch to get it off. So I put this on here and just snub it down gently, very gently. Now you can grip this back plate, and these nubs right here will grip the propeller, keep it from turning. Take your wrench, just a straight, I use a screwdriver, it works out pretty good. Now you turn this gently. Now if you turn it gently, that secret washer in the back has just enough bite, that silicon carbide sandpaper, that washer we made out of this thing, has just enough bite to keep it from slipping while we tighten it. So I do grab the back plate and just turn this nice and smooth, nice and gently, and then, tighten your grip, and then tighten this down. And I put some, there's probably 20 pounds of torque on there or something. I'm not the strongest guy, but I'm not the weakest either. So now that prop nut is tight, and it's good for 2 or 3 more sorties. So anyway, you take your spinner, put up on there with some little notches, and a guy at the field told me, I don't know, I guess it's true, you don't really want the propeller touching any part of the spinner. I think what that does, you get real technical, an engineer will tell you that it will upset the dynamic balance frequency of each propeller blade. Now, that's, you know, a little technical for me too, but I'm sure that's true. I've worked with enough engineers to know that that kind of stuff takes place. So there we go. There is the APC prop. You can see in the back, well, it actually looked like it went down on there a little further than normal. I don't get it. But that is not a 1/16 of an inch. I may have to go back and look at that. That's pretty close. But anyway, the prop is on there. Of course, I balanced the props. You can see on the back, I don't know if you can or not, right there on this prop. If you see that, that's a piece of Scotch tape. That is a propeller weight. I balance these on a magnetic balancing stand. And I also paint the tips. They don't come this way. You have to use masking tape and mask them off and paint them by hand. I just, it's what I do. It's what I like. They look kind of cool when you're taxiing in. You can see. But there we go. She's all set. She's ready for another at least 2 or 3 flights. So I hope this helps. And Joyce, thanks for the question. I hope this helps you. And fly safely out here.